What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome back to another video. We're back at it again. The most dangerous word in my vocabulary hasn't been no, it hasn't been failure, it hasn't been fear, it's been ready. Ready sounds innocent, responsible, even if I'll start when I'm ready, I'll post when I'm ready, I'll set up when I'm ready. But ready is a lie, it's an illusion. My brain keeps me safe. If I buy into it, it'll cost me years. The truth is that ready never arrives. Every day I wait, the mountain grows taller. The idea of being ready convinces me I need to be perfect for camera, the perfect gym routine, the perfect bank account balance, the perfect version of myself before I start. But what's under all that? Fear. Fear of being seen, fear of being judged, fear of failing in public. We all have these certain fears. Whatever these so-called fears are, only we know what is best for ourselves. Only we know what is best for our fears. Only we know what is best for ourselves. Isn't that right, people? We're confused when we're safe. The brain sells ready as safety. Don't start posting it, you embarrass yourself. Don't apply for that job yet, you'll get rejected. Don't say 50, it's too small to even matter. Everything has an excuse. Everything has a plan in place that sets you up for an excuse or for failure. And everything starts with this so-called one thing. You confuse ready with it being safe. You confuse it all. It addresses fear and responsibility, but here's the truth. Waiting doesn't keep you safe. It keeps you stuck in that mentality, stuck in that spot, stuck in that position, which then you feel obligated that every day you wait, you trade possibility for comfort, and comfort compounds into regret. Obscurity is freedom. When I first started content, that felt like shouting into the void. 10 views, 2 comments, mostly silence. At first I thought it meant failure, but Chris reframed it for me. Obscurity isn't punishment, it's freedom. When you are obscure, you are the only person that is standing within the potential void of whatever it is you're obscuring about. Because obscurity is not punishment, but it's freedom to do with what you want, do with what you have, do with what you say, do with what you do. Obscurity means invisibility, and invisibility is the safest practice area I've ever been in. Nobody's watching me right now, which means I can afford to fail. I can afford not to be successful because I have the rest of my life to build that success, to build that certain persona of success. I can test 10 different video styles. I can crash, pivot, delete, restart. Nobody remembers because nobody gives a flying fuck. Nobody cares. I learned that in my alcohol combiancy class, that nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to say anything because I have to do all the fucking talking. Because if you don't do all the talking, then the other people will make no sense because they had the same opinion as you, unless they state their opinion, which is probably totally different than what you think. But a lot of people are similar into where they see fit. Obscurity is freedom. Freedom to experiment without the weight of the audience. Freedom to sharpen my blade in private. Freedom to build quietly until the work is undeniable. Without the freedom to build quietly, without the undeniable proof that you are in what you say you do, and you are in what you say you are. You are your habits. You are your systems. You are your bloody fucking past issues. You cannot get past the bloody fact that of what I said is the truth.
Hey, well, we're gonna take Matt for a quick loop.
Okay. Most people waste obscurity wishing for attention. I'm using obscurity to train, because without the freedom that is waiting to be stated, nobody has seen my content, which means I am not a failure. I will never be a failure because I will keep on trying and teaching and telling and helping, because that is me. That is who I am. I will never stop. The only person that will stop me is me. The only person that will stop you is you. Don't allow other people's judgment. Don't allow other people's opinions. Give a fuck about whatever the fuck you're going through. Because at the end of the day, then they never really did care. They never really did understand. Because they don't understand everything like you do and I do. We might not know a lot, but we know a good fucking few. Let's continue. Competence comes after action, not before. Competence. Competence comes after action, not before. It's a trap. Most people wait for confidence before they act. Confidence doesn't show up at first. Competence does. And competence only comes from reps. When I first walked into the gym, I didn't feel confident, but every rep I built, that skill built confidence, and confidence created me. When I saved my first 500, felt small, but 500 turned to 1,000, then 5,000, then 23,000. Competence is saving built confidence in my discipline. When I posted my first video, it felt awkward, but every upload stacked evidence. That evidence built competence, and competence created confidence. The order is clear. Act, build competence, let competence create confidence. If you wait for confidence before you act, you will never act. It's like when you have that fear of going. Go. Do it. Because if not, you will not succeed. You will not fail. Because you never know what failure felt like if you don't act. You never do know, and you never did know until you fail. Over and over and over again. Fell on your ass, fell on your feet, fell on your face, fell on your fucking whatever. You know what I'm saying. You know what I get. And you know what you get. You get to learn. Now let's continue with this lesson. The clock doesn't care about when you're ready. Time does not pause until I feel ready. Time continues. It will never stop. You can't snap your fingers and wish time to stop. It does not stop. It continues. It goes and goes and goes and goes until you pause. Which of course, time does not stop. It's ever loaning. It's ever loaning, and it will never quit. Every day I hesitate. Somebody else is stacking reps. Somebody else is building systems. Somebody else is getting sharper while I stay the same. If I train 30 days this year, my body will transform. But if I wait for the perfect program, I will look back at a year from now, weaker than who I am today. If I post 100 videos this year, I'll have 100 lessons learned. If I wait for the perfect niche, I'll still be at zero. If I save $200 a month, I'll have thousands by next year. If I wait until I feel like I have extra money, I will still have none. Time compounds when I act or not. Ready slows down the clock and just leaves me behind. The way I look at it is time continues. Time does not stop. Time keeps on going over and over and over again. It's like a hamster on a wheel. It will not stop. It will not quit. And it will not keep on trying. You only build in public. Drafts don't count. Notes don't count. Idea doesn't count. You only build in public. The video you published, the essay you shared, the project you launched, that's what compounds. Perfectionists hide behind of idea of almost ready. But perfectionists is fear, pretending to be high standards. The truth is, nothing is ever ready. What matters is what gets into the world. When you try, when you do, when you post, when you say. You can say something totally differently and still do it. Good for you. Small clap in a large auditorium for a very long, short period of time. It's only you. It's only you that's cheering yourself on. It's only you that keeps on doing it, keeps on building, keeps on trying, keeps on acting. I don't stop. And when I don't stop, I never quit. And when I never quit, I never give up. Which giving up is a pussy's way of saying you're a fucking loser. Solid. Solid information right there. Let's continue. What matters is what gets into the world. That's what the fuck matters. Because at the end of the day, it never will. You will never do it. You will never try. Because you're afraid of their own opinion. Their approval, their opinion, and what they're going to say behind your back. Those are the three main fucking things that you care about. So, number 4. Money. I started saving when I was 18 with tiny amounts. I didn't want to stop until I had a big salary. No, I'm at, it says 23,000. It's more like 15. Shit happened. Got a DUI. So now it's like 15. You gotta pay for the intox lock bullshit, some bullshit, just to drive. Don't get a DUI. That's all I gotta say. Uber. This happened because I started before I felt meaningful. Fitness, I train tired, I train busy, I train like I waited for the perfect schedule or energy. I barely train at all. My system guarantees progress. Content, I post obscurity. I post in obscurity. Some of my videos barely get seen, but every post is a rep, and a rep compounds. Over time, I take shifts when they're offered. If I waited for the perfect balance or the perfect time, I'd miss opportunities and money that will never come back. My life proves this ready. Ready does not exist. Execution is the only reality. Future version of me. Here's what I want my future will to look like. Who stacked 200,000 at 350K. Who's back in Florida. Who goes into special units. Who's running the brand. I will never look back and say I wish I had gotten that. I had waited longer to start. But he might look back and say I wish I had it started earlier. That's the cost of ready. Not embarrassment, not failure, but time. If all we are is the pen to our story that is yet to be written and yet to be said, then why are you wasting your time doing these distractions, doing these stupid things which you know they're stupid, like drugs and alcohol? I quit alcohol when I was 21. I stopped smoking weed when I was 21. Not because of the DUI, but because all the distractions that it brought into my life. Now I'm using this as an outbound. I'm using this as a resource. Not school, but YouTube. Without the viewers, without you guys, I would be nothing. I would be dust in the ash of the ashes that are waiting to be spread. And that spread is a sickness that kills everything in its way. Which you need to be that brutal. You need to kill. You need to do. You need to act. You need to say. You need to become. You need to do the things that you are afraid to do. So that's all I have for you guys. Leave a like and comment if you guys want to see more. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.